guys, and welcome to Besterday, where nostalgia reigns supreme. I'm Bianca, and I'm the ultimate 90s baby. But before we get started, I want to introduce this week's co-host, and she is a very special friend. If you guys have been listening to Besterday since its integration in October, was it last October? I think.
It seems like forever ago.
Yeah.
You've been doing this for so long now,
I
Bianca.
know. But it is Emilee Lindner.
The one and
The one and only.
It's so good to be back, Bianca.
Yay.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy you could do it. I miss having you on the podcast, but I'm glad that you're able to come for this special episode.
You know,
So, yeah.
I miss this back and forth, but you know what? Listening to the podcast in my headphones as like a casual listener, I feel like you're always still with me every week.
That means so much. But yeah, if you guys don't know, Emilee, she used to be the co-host of Besterday, and now she is an incredible freelance writer, writing for all your fave publications. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Working hard.
Yeah, girl.
Getting that money.
Getting that moolah. So as you guys know, Besterday is a podcast where we reminisce on the songs that had your heart, the movies that made you laugh, and everything pop culture from the 80s to the early aughts. So I can never think of anything.
Jewel CD cases.
Oh, wow.
They're always so hard to open.
That is so random.
Oh, my gosh. I still have some of those. I use CDs all the time.
I totally forgot about that.
Yep. I have also some other things written down for this segment because I just remember we used to do it together. Okay. Do you remember every Titanic book being lent out of the library because the Titanic phase was just so strong for everybody?
It was real AF, yeah.
Like, they had so many cool books, and I couldn't get them because every other child in America had rented them.
I don't think I never had the book.
There were books, there were informational deep dives, picture books, audiobooks. They were all gone.
I didn't realize it was that intense.
It wasn't at Cloverbank Elementary School.
Okay.
In Hamburg, New York. And also, do you remember bucket hats?
Yes. No, I wasn't a bucket hat wearer. I was like an Ed Hardy girl, which is horrible. That's like even worse than bucket hats.
Oh,
but yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah. I feel you judging me right now, so.
No judgment here.
Whatever.
Rolls eyes.
And I'm thinking of, AIM, obviously.
I still use AIM.
Do you really?
Yep.
I thought it was like discontinued.
It has a lot of major bugs on it. I don't know why I still use it.
Yeah.
But my boyfriend and I like still aim back and forth.
That's so cute.
Every day.
That's adorable.
He's pretty much the only one I aim.
Shout out to Pete.
Yeah.
So guys, make sure to hashtag Besterday on Twitter and Instagram and wherever your heart desires. And also send us suggestions, rate us on iTunes, and follow myself, Bianca and Rogue, on Twitter. And then what is your Twitter handle?
I'm at Emilee Lindner, EMILEELINDNER.
Yes. All right. Ready to do this thing?
I'm ready.
I'm ready for the
pew, 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 pew.
SpongeBob reference there. Okay, so we're going to start. On May 28th, 1968, Kylie Minogue was born.
Happy birthday, girl.
Happy birthday, Kylie. The one and only Kylie, not the other Jenner Kylie.
You know what? There can be multiple Kylies.
But she's a OG.
It is true.
Yeah.
She's older.
Well, yes.
Purely by the age rule, yes.
Next up, May 29th, 1987, Michael Jackson infamously tried to buy the Elephant Man's
What
remains.
is this?
You know, like the Elephant Man, like he was like deformed, like he had like a huge head and like very brittle bones, I believe, and like when he passed away, MJ was like, I want his bones.
But why did he want the bones?
I don't know. It was just like, this was the whole phase when he had like Bubbles the chimp, and like people were saying he slept in like an oxygen tank, and like this was like that whole era.
Oh, 1987.
Yeah. Yes.
Was he, so he wasn't successful in buying the bones?
No, it did not happen for him, unfortunately.
I'm glad we're remembering this in this week in history.
I felt like it was just an important thing to talk about, but yeah.
Yes. I'm glad we're remembering it.
On May 30th, 1974, CeeLo was born. Shout out to CeeLo, I guess. I don't know why I put that in there, actually. That's not really relevant.
Hey,
but, you know, hey.
HBD, CeeLo.
Yeah. Moving on. Yeah, seriously. May 30th, 2008. One of my favorite movies. Sex and the City, the film version, starring obviously Sarah Jessica Parker, was released in theaters.
Oh my gosh, such a good movie.
I know. I can't believe it was almost 10 years ago that it was out, which is crazy.
Yeah, no way. That series has been on like as long as I've been alive, I feel like.
Yeah.
And then the movies keep going.
Exactly.
It just never ends, really.
It's like just a part of our life.
Do you think is there going to be a new one, or did they pretty much end it?
I want to say there were talks about like another, like a third movie like a few years ago, but it just never came to life.
I feel like we'll see it within our lifetime.
I mean, I would like it because I just love those girls. So,
and it's just so popular.
Yeah.
And Sarah Jessica Parker is still going strong. She's just queen. Yeah,
she's awesome.
I'm all for it.
Same. All right, guys, this is my personal favorite. May 31st, 2006. The Hills premiered on MTV.
Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow,
yes.
Remember how much we used to sing together?
I know. Well, there's going to be a lot of singing on these podcasts.
Let's go back. Back to the beginning.
Wait, you're thinking of Laguna Beach.
Oh, shoot.
The Hills was,
Shoot.
the Natasha Bedingfield.
Let the rain on your skin. No one else can hear it for you. Only you can let it in. Yes.
No, yeah. That was a jam.
Sorry about that.
It's
loyal fine. Listeners.
It happens. But if you guys follow me on Twitter, you know I'm BFS with Spencer Pratt. I don't know how this friendship happened, but we are here now. He is awesome. And he actually became one of my favorite like people on the Hills. I never liked him like at first, but now I get to see him for who he really is, and he's like a very nice guy. So
yeah, he's just like it's so strange because that movie or the series was supposed to be about kind of like the more superficialness of California, and like it ended up out bringing their personalities,
like their best sides. Now Elsie, well, they're all like moms now. Elsie I think she has 2 kids. Whitney's pregnant. Heidi is pregnant, so it's just like,
oh my god,
yeah,
they're thriving.
Oh my god, I just feel old. Like they're all like mommies now.
Yeah.
Wow.
They got their lifestyle brands.
Yeah.
Spencer has his Crissle collection.
I know. Can't forget about that.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Spencer, if you're listening to this, I would like a Crissle collection. Just saying.
I'm sure he has some to give away.
Yeah.
Although they're very precious to him.
This is true. I might slide in those DMs and ask. We shall see. All right. Next up, guys. On June 1st, 1967, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club was released by the iconic Beatles.
50 years.
50 years, which is crazy. Such a great album.
And that's all anyone is talking about, I feel like.
Right? Like, I, like, look on Twitter and, like, my Feedly account is just all, like, Beatles. Like, I get it. It's a great album, but, like, calm down.
Well, it's Rolling Stone's #1 album of all time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised they picked that. I mean, I understand the Beatles, but I don't know about Sgt. Pepper. I thought they'd pick, like, a different...
Honestly...
Like, the White Album or something.
Yeah. It's just... I guess it's because it's, like... It was, like, very much their experimental breakthrough.
Yeah.
It's so weird because they got so experimental and they were still so popular.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, a lot of people are talking about this and debating 50 years later on whether this album is actually as the greatest album of all time. But... I mean, come on, don't debate it. Like, just celebrate it.
It's standing the test of time, people.
Yeah. I don't know. There should be no debate, I think.
I agree. All right, guys. On June 1st, 1974, just a few years later, Alanis Morissette was born. Happy birthday, Alanis.
Isn't it ironic? Yeah. And don't you think?
Love it.
She's so good.
She is. Queen. We're actually going to be talking about her later, so get ready for that.
Oh, I'm ready.
And lastly, June 1st, 1999, Dido's No Angel made its debut in the U.S.
So many good songs.
So many bops.
There will be no white flag upon my door.
Your singing is actually incredible.
I think I'm going to get discovered on this podcast, and the next time you see me, I'm going to have a record deal.
Oh, my God. Can I be, like, your first interview?
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's exclusively yours.
Love it. All right, we're going to kick off into the nostalgic news segment, one of my favorite segments. And first up, okay, I talk about reboots like every single week, and I'm honestly getting tired of it, but Hollywood is just not letting me live. So the first one is the Jetsons is getting a live action movie, and it has a director. named Conrad Vernon.
So first of all, aren't the Jetsons like robot people?
No, they were like no, they had a robot maid, but they're the ones who like lived in the future, and they drove like the space. Was it a spaceship? It was like flying cars and stuff. It was always on Cartoon Network.
This is gonna be really annoying. I could already tell this movie's gonna be so annoying.
It's making me annoyed talking about it. But yeah, I don't understand why it needs to be a live action movie. Like, just thinking back, even like the Flintstones, like that live action movie was horrible. So just like leave it alone. Yeah, it was bad. So
my jaw is dropped when you just said that. I was like, it's literally gonna be
it's gonna be that. It's gonna be the Flintstones. And apparently, there was like a theory that the Jetsons and the Flintstones lived in the same dimension, even though the Flintstones was like in prehistoric times.
What if?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, and like the Jetsons were like in the future, but they like apparently cross paths somehow. I don't know. It's a theory. Look it up online, people. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about.
My theory is, what if it was like Westworld? Have you seen Westworld?
No, it's on my list. I have like a whole super long TV show list.
Where like the rich futuristic people create tourism of remaking the past.
Ah, you might be onto something here.
Stroke speared.
Well, the director, I'm just reading this, he co-directed Sausage Party, so it might be a little naughty. We shall see. I don't know. This just sounds strange.
I don't have high hopes for it.
It sounds so strange. The more that I talk about it, I'm like, no.
I want to know what everyone else thinks about this.
Yeah, guys, #Besterday. Let us know like what your thoughts about this particular remake, because I'm not here for it.
I want to know if there are any really like diehard Jetson fans who are just like, finally.
I know. Like, I've been waiting for this moment. All the reboots in the world, and they finally do this one.
Finally.
Ugh. Anyway, we're going to talk about our girl, Alanis Morissette. Her Jagged Little Pill album, her seminal album, is turning into a musical and is heading to Broadway next year.
Oh, my goodness.
Right?
That's perfect. I can't wait to see that. I'm going to go there. I'm going to be just so angsty. I'm just going to have so much pent-up energy and just scream the entire time.
It's going to be at the American Repertory Theater in Cambridge, Massachusetts next May. So get your coins ready for that.
Okay. I've never been to Massachusetts. This might be
It's nothing to write home about, but I mean, like, it'll be worthwhile going for the musical. So.
Wow, we're just dissing so many people already.
I know, it's so bad.
The Jetsons live action movie.
I'm trying not to be so shady on these podcasts, but I can't help it. It's
so
Hollywood's fault. It is. But if you guys are interested in the Jagged Little Pill musical, it's actually going to be written by Diablo Cody, who wrote the screenplay for Juno. So I'm sure it's going to be awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. And next up, okay, this reboot, I'm like iffy about. It's the Animaniacs reboot. Okay. I love that show. Like, it taught me about geography, and I'm like forever grateful. Thank you, Wacko.
Wow.
No, it was actually Yakko who taught us the ways of the world. But
you're so smart.
I don't know about a reboot of Animaniacs. Like, why?
This isn't live action, right?
No, it's just going to be animated. And Steven Spielberg, he was like, he developed the show, and he's reportedly like going to create all the new episodes again.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, that aspect is cool because it's like the OGs working on the show.
Yeah.
But
okay, I have faith in this one.
I don't know. Because, like, Animaniacs was already on Netflix, like, a few months ago. So, like, it's still fresh in people's minds. So, it's like, do you really need a reboot? Just, like, watch the old episodes.
It'll be like, yeah. That's always scary because you don't want to piss off the hardcore OG fans
of the Animaniacs.
But also, it's kind of like, when Gilmore Girls came back, I was like, yay, it's coming back. I never wanted that world to end. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's such a high standard.
It is, yeah.
Especially if, like you said, if the episodes are so fresh on Netflix.
Yeah, it's like,
is it coming back on Netflix?
They haven't said any other details. Like, it's still in development.
I bet it is.
Yeah, there's no, like, set directors or, like, if, like, the original voice actors are going to return. Like, there's nothing in the works for that. It's just, like, up in the air, early development.
All right, so we'll have to, like, deal with this later.
Yeah, it's going to be never ending. And I'll keep y'all updated on like what's happening. But according to the Facebook commenters on Fuse, they are not happy about this. This seems completely unnecessary. No more reboots or remakes. Please, originality. This is going to be bad. You? No, it's not me. They'll ruin it just like the reboot of Powerpuff Girls. Oh my God, you guys are so angry.
I don't know. They have a point though.
But we shall see. I have faith because I feel like Steven Spielberg could do no wrong. So we shall see, people. All right, next up, SpongeBob SquarePants, one of my favorite shows of all time.
I didn't even know that show was still on.
Yeah. And it's actually going to be renewed until the end of time. Well, specifically 2019.
The end of time. The end of time is 2019. Oh my gosh.
I mean, get ready.
I have to stock up on rations. I need to find a cave to live in.
I mean, well,
you heard it here first. The apocalypse is coming.
It is coming. So Nickelodeon, they ordered I can't believe it's 12 seasons. This is crazy. I've been watching the show since how old was I when the show came out? I had to be like 13.
Or maybe even younger.
Really? I don't know.
I just remember like my uncle denouncing it because like they thought there was like they thought it like promoted the gay agenda or whatever. Like a lot of like hyper like religious people were like, you can't watch that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was so strange. It's just a kids
It's just a kid show, and it's actually, I didn't realize this, but 2019 is the 20th anniversary of SpongeBob.
How fun!
I have to plan like something huge for that.
Yes, a SpongeBob themed party.
I have 2 years to figure this out, guys.
I'll help you.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I didn't realize it's been 20 years. I am old. Oh my God.
Oh, you're not old. Young Bianca.
I feel young in my spirit. But and okay, finally another reboot. Sorry to bring this on you guys, but this one I'm not here for either.
Oh, okay.
Charlie's Angels is getting a reboot, and it's going to be released in summer 2019.
And Elizabeth Banks is
she's directing
it.
Yeah.
See, I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited for this.
Okay, see, I like that it's a female director, and like Elizabeth Banks is awesome, but it's just a matter of like, do we actually need this? Like, why couldn't it just be like a sequel? I would be happy if it was a sequel, but not like an actual reboot of the movie.
Oh, so it's not gonna have Lucy Liu and
it's not confirmed yet if like the original actors. That's my thing. Like Cameron Diaz, Lucy Liu, Drew Barrymore, if they're not like a part of it, it's just like what's the point?
It's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
If they make it into a thing that's like our daughters are now fighting bad guys, that's going to make me so mad because that's just Hollywood. See, I don't even know if this is the truth or what's going to happen, but like I feel like that would just be Hollywood being like, lazy. You're too old to be playing these characters who kick ass.
Like your time has passed.
Yeah.
Whatevs. But I feel like if Charlize Theron could do it, and like it's in that new movie that she's coming out with, like age ain't nothing but a number.
Yeah. Let's hope that it has the original characters. Otherwise, I'm not interested.
Yeah. But I feel like Elizabeth Banks, she could work her magic, but I just wish that it wasn't a reboot. That's my only thing.
I love what she did with the Pitch Perfect sequel.
Yeah, like that was good. Yeah. So
I feel like she has a good handle on things.
Yeah, I agree. All right, guys, we are back with the super duper major anniversary of the week, and it is Avril Lavigne's Let Go, her debut album. Her debut album turns 15.
15.
I can't believe it.
First of all, I just want to thank you for having me on this particular episode because this album was played during my most formative years of my childhood.
Oh my God, break it down, girl.
It was just this. It was basically Let Go by Avril Lavigne and Stripped by Christina Aguilera.
Wow.
That formed me as a woman.
I love that.
Yes, I became a woman while actually listening to this music.
I didn't know this. Oh my God, I knew you were like a huge Avril fan, which of course why I asked you, but I didn't realize it was so impassioned.
Yes, when this album came out, you know, it was mostly divas and Britney Spears, and pop was reigning supreme. And it always seems to come in waves, doesn't it? Like pop and then like anti-pop.
Exactly.
But you know, there was Jessica Simpson, there was Mandy Moore, there was Christina.
The Britneys, the Willa Ford.
The Will of Fords. Yeah, and
Avril came in and was like, you know what? Fuck all this. I'm gonna do my own thing.
Yeah, and she came in and I was like, you know, kind of shattered that illusion of perfection.
Yeah, and like what it means to be like the pretty pop girl.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
The time was right. I think that there was definitely like major label moves and decisions by
I
label
totally
heads.
agree.
The time was right, and people just grasped onto it and held on, and you know, it took off.
Yeah. So do you remember the first time like you either like heard one of her songs or like saw it on like MTV?
I just remember listening to Kiss 98.5 in Buffalo and riding the bus to school and just hearing these songs and not really like connecting a face with the music, but knowing that the music was like really catchy and was speaking to me for once. You know, it wasn't just like love songs. It was like kind of angsty and emo, and that's how I felt. And so it finally reflected stuff that I was feeling. What about you?
Well, Complicated was her first single, but I actually saw Skater Boy on, I think it was on TRL.
Yeah.
That was my first time like seeing like, oh shit, because during that time, that was my super, I mean, I talk about it all the time, but that was my pop punk phase and like super emo, but I only knew male bands. Like I love My Chemical Romance, Good Charlotte, Story of the Year, like The Used, like all these bands, but I was like, oh, this is a woman, like, and she's
Paramore
like so dope. Yeah, Paramore wasn't out yet, so she was kind of like repping for the ladies, be like, hey, like we could do this genre too. So I respected that.
Can I say something kind of controversial about it though?
Do it.
I think that in a way, Avril, not her, but like a lot of the machine around her was like almost anti-girl. Yeah. Because the way she dressed was just like,
oh yeah,
I'm gonna wear boys' clothes. I'm gonna wear ties. I'm gonna
like she didn't like show off her curves. Like her hair was always in her face.
There was there was still a little sex appeal, but like, she actively kind of disparaged the pop people and like the Britneys and the Christinas.
Yeah,
and I think in a way that was like kind of burrowed into my head as a young girl and was like, oh, you don't want to be the girly girl. Yeah. Isn't that so weird? Because we went so quickly from wanting to be Britney and then wanting to be like, wanting nothing to do with that because that wasn't cool anymore. And as much as I love Avril, I was looking back at it, like when you asked me to do this, I was like, oh my gosh, that is really when I wanted nothing to do with being feminine. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that is weird.
Like, I didn't think about that until today, but I was just like, oh, she really was, you know, the skater girl. She wanted to get dirty. She wanted to
just hang out with the boys and like go to the skate park and
like spit or whatever like boys
eat
do.
The French fries from the mall cop in the Complicated video.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it was cool because she showed girls that you can be rougher around the edges. Yeah. Which was also cool. Yeah. I think.
I mean, it's kind of ironic. I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself, but it's just, I remember like when that Kitty song came out, like that whole era,
later in
and
her
I'm
career.
like, what happened? Like she was just so like, you know, into like anti-pop, like as you were saying, and then all of a sudden it was just like wearing the pink streaks in her hair and like wearing like frilly skirts, and I was like, is this like supposed to be ironic or like what is happening here? So that kind of threw me off when she was going through that whole phase.
Well, I don't know if this happened in your middle school or grade school or whatever, but I remember a lot of people in my school calling her a poser. And
I remember this too.
And I just got so mad because I was so defensive of her.
She's like, no, she's actually living this life.
But that was a huge thing at the time. There's like, she's not real. She's backed by this huge label.
Because she's by Arista. And it's just like, because, I mean, the album was crazy successful. I think it's 6 times platinum. So it's just like, people don't really attribute pop punk with like mainstream success. And it's like, when you achieve that, it's like, oh, you're a sellout.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, it's like a good thing because they're bringing it to like a bigger audience. But
yeah,
people saw it the opposite
pop
way.
punk, made so much money.
Yeah. Especially during that time.
But it was like based on the idea that they were anti-mainstream, even though they were mainstream.
Exactly.
But I think I heard this somewhere. Don't quote me on this. I don't know if it's fact, but like, when she was discovered in Canada, like singing at some street fair, wherever it was, like, she had said that she wanted to be the next pop star. And I heard that somewhere, and I always think back on that. Like, she was crafted as the skater girl and the anti-pop, girl, but I think later in life, like you said, when she did the kitty kawaii
and like
thing and
the girlfriend song, even then, that was like,
and to this day, and I think that's maybe her kind of living out those dreams of still wanting to be the more feminine pop star. And I can't help that, like, thinking, damn, maybe the poser thing
like was real
because they crafted her into the skater girl, but she really
wanted
does
to
have
be
like
the
this
girly
feminine
girl.
side. Yeah. Do you know?
Yeah, I get it, but I feel like there was nothing wrong with that. Like, she could, dress or whatever she wanted, but I feel like at that time she didn't. I mean, she was only 17, so
so young.
She had like, I'm sure she had like so many like male heads like trying to tell her what to do, so she probably couldn't like live that out at the time. So maybe that's why she did it later on. But
and also think about, I mean, how many phases have you gone through? How many phases
have
I gone through?
A lot.
So
it's crazy.
So just think, just because she was being this skater girl doesn't mean that it was inauthentic to her. Like, she embraced it and she totally killed it and made it her own.
That's true. Yeah, because that, like, even with me, like, I had my emo phase, and like I used to wear like the studded bracelets and like the studded belt, like sex bracelets, and like the tight ass jeans and stuff. And like, I don't dress like that anymore, but that was still like a big part of my life.
Yes, that doesn't mean that you weren't that person.
Yeah. This is true.
This is getting deep.
This is so deep. I feel like it's like a therapy session. Love it. All right, are you ready to get into these amazing songs?
Yes, definitely.
All right. So, the album birthed 4 amazing tracks, amazing singles. They were all like Billboard top 10 songs, which is amazing for like a 17-year-old debut. So the first song that came out was Complicated. We all know the Complicated song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So complicated.
I see the way you're
acting like you're somebody else.
Gets me frustrated.
I love when her Canadian accents
She's so Canadian.
Out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take off all your crappy clothes.
I thought it was preppy clothes.
Is it? Guys, let me know.
Like anti-prep.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because in the video, he was like wearing like Lacoste or something. So.
I haven't seen the videos in a very long time.
Yeah, I was watching it before you got here.
Oh my gosh.
Going down memory lane.
Yeah, this song, this song was great because she was calling out like a boyfriend who, with her, was so real, but with his friends was just a total poser.
There you go.
Poser was like the major insult
back
then.
Like, oh, you're such a poser.
I want to bring that back. You want to bring that back with me?
We should do it. Because I actually know a lot of posers in my life. So.
What do you call those people now? Like fake people.
It's fake, I guess.
Yeah, fake.
Or like two-faced. But poser was like the big thing. If you were a poser, like people didn't talk to you.
Exactly.
That was like huge.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm bringing this back. So like, I don't know. I love that she was able to call that person out because, gosh, even back in high school, you knew those people. Right. And you're just like, just be real with me.
Man. And like, well, I think I would classify this as like her signature song. What do you think?
Yeah. I love this also because it was a ballad kind of.
And that was her debut. Like, usually when you go out as debut artist, like you want to like have like a more like upbeat, like heavy hitting percussion type of song, but like she's went the total opposite. Yeah. So that was like a huge risk for her.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song.
Yeah, I love it. It was very well written. It got nominated twice for Grammys, certified platinum, went number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. So
huge.
It did fairly well.
Yeah, it did okay.
It did okay. All right, the next single is Skater Boy. Now, this is a jam. This is an actual bop.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the song where we both, I think, kind of
Yeah, this was, I heard Skater Boy before Complicated, and then I was like, oh, let me see what she's about. And then, like, I saw all the other songs.
Yeah. So, the song.
I'm, like, hearing the riff in my head.
When I was a teenager, I really wanted to, like, be a songwriter. And I just remember, like, picking apart the structure of this song. Mm-hmm. Because it's so simple, and I was like, if she can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
Because all the song is D D D D D D D D. It's 3 notes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's 3 notes. I was like, oh my god, I could write songs.
Yeah.
But it's so damn catchy.
It is crazy catchy. Like, it is actually gross how catchy this song is. Like, I feel like it'll be a good karaoke bop.
Karaoke forever.
Yes.
This song.
Yeah.
But the really cool thing about this song was the twist ending. Yeah,
that was a good, like, ooh, I caught you off guard type of moment.
Because the whole song, she's wait, how did it go? She met the skater boy.
Yeah.
And they had a thing, but then
like, he met, like, a high school girl, but she was, like, super preppy and, like, cheerleadery.
Yeah, and then you think that they're not going to end up together.
Yeah.
But
then
do.
What happens?
I spoiled it for everybody.
Yeah, you did. You guys heard it here first.
She's backstage at his show.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
You know what? There should be a sequel to this song. Like Skater Girl. Mm-hmm. And it's like a guy wanting a rock star girl.
Yeah. I wonder, like, do they have children? Do they get married? What happened to this couple?
I want to know, too.
Questions that need answering, man.
You're telling me. What was the next one?
The next single?
Yeah.
I'm With You.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not even going to try to attempt that note.
Because she's a really good singer.
She's actually amazing. Like, I mean, I'll get into it a little later with, like, some of the deep cuts, but, like, her voice, like, it could go from, like, super, like, popish to, like, very grungy and dark. And I'm like, whoa, you have the range. Yeah.
And she's definitely like a soprano, I feel like, through and through, because when she does that high note at the end of I'm With You.
Yeah.
Do you remember the video?
Yes.
When she's like literally standing on the bridge on a damn cold
night.
I'm
like clutching my chest right now, guys.
You are.
Yeah.
Tears are streaming down your face.
It's a very intense
video.
And
she's all alone.
Yeah.
I don't know where I am. Wait. I actually, oh my god, I'm so mad at myself. I don't know who you are, but I'm with you. That's the thing. It's all about loving who you're with.
Yeah.
Not being
Such
alone.
a beautiful song, man.
Oh, my heartstrings are tugged.
Oh, man. And I think the reason why I had, like, an affinity for this song is because my fave, Rihanna, sampled it.
She did?
On Cheers to the Weekend from Loud.
Oh.
Yeah, she sampled that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
I did not know this.
Yeah, fun fact. Oh. So that's like, it was like a resurgence for me. Because I was like, wait, this sample sounds so familiar. And I was like, oh shit, it's like Avril's I'm With You.
Another fave.
Yeah. So you just like, it all just comes back around in the end, you know?
Yeah, maybe Avril will return the favor when she comes out with new music.
When is that happening? Because I feel like she's been teasing it for months now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know that she's like struggling.
Yeah.
But it needs to happen. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
I know that she did that like one song for the Special Olympics, but that was like 3 years ago.
Oh no. I'm trying to think, when was her last album's in 2013. So
yeah, that was like the Hello Kitty era?
Yeah, that unfortunate era.
Yeah.
I try to forget, but yeah, it's definitely due time for another album.
I don't think she'll ever go back to Let Go. Like, I don't ever think she'll go back to the skater girl thing.
I feel like she's probably, I would hope that she doesn't go back to the Avril Lavigne, like her self-titled album. I would want her to go back to like the Goodbye Lullaby type of vibe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not too long ago, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was 2011.
But
yeah, like a mix between, I guess, like, yeah, The Best Damn Thing and Goodbye Lullaby. Because I don't think she's going to go back to that, like, pop punk
type Oh, you like Best Damn Thing too?
I don't know. Girlfriend is like one of those songs that you love to hate because it's catchy, but it's just like the song is not great. But I like When You're Gone and The Best Damn Thing.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Those are great songs.
That is a good song.
She does really well with ballads,
I've
noticed.
Really does.
Yeah.
I've never really thought about this before.
Yeah, she's a great ballader. Is that a word?
Balladier.
There you go. Teamwork here.
Yes. Wait, so what's your favorite song off the album?
Okay. I'm going to be basic AF and going to say Skater Boy. That song is really good.
Yeah.
And we forgot about Losing Grip. That was the last single.
Oh,
that came out.
I'm starting to trip. Yeah. I'm losing my this song, I will, whenever I put on Let Go, which is more often than you would think.
Yeah.
I start hearing the opening notes before they even start playing.
Wow.
I prepare, my mind prepares me for
That's kind of like with me and Rihanna. Yeah.
It's you know?
It's a great opening track, I must say.
And on her second album, which I really like too, I forget what it's called.
It is Under My Skin.
Under My Skin, yeah. That has a good opening track too, with the raging guitars. That was supposed to be her even darker album.
Yeah, even I remember the album cover. I'm looking at it right now. She was super.
Yes, with the red
angsty.
X on her.
Yeah, and the album was. I think this was a lot more darker because it had "Don't Tell Me," "My Happy Ending," "Nobody's Home," and "He Wasn't."
Yeah, but notice they're still really poppy. They're still fun, and they're accessible songs.
This is true, but I feel like she went more of the aggressive route, but
she had to follow it up with something, and then the next one was just
oh girl.
I'm pop star
so
now.
Pop. I have pink extensions.
Hey, you, I don't like your boyfriend.
Whatever. No way. I think you need a new one. That damn catchy song. Okay.
Also, the thing about Let Go that I like is it's edgy, but it's very PG.
Yeah.
I remember her saying she says it's damp cold night.
I was gonna bring that up. I remember that was so controversial in was it high school? Was it high school? No, it was middle school. Oh my god. Yeah, I was in 7th grade.
Yeah, this was 2002, so I was 12.
But I remember it being oh my gosh, she said "damn" in the chorus. It was such a thing.
Damp.
Yeah, it was such a thing.
Yes, I remember. Me and my friends were we tried to sing "damn" as loud as we could.
It's a damn cold. Yeah,
because we're we get to swear because it's in a song. But that was
good times.
That was the only swear word on. Swear word that's even a swear today that would be on I don't know who's a up and coming pop artist that caters to children. Demi Lovato.
She's up and coming. She is up and coming still, I must say.
No, I didn't mean to shade again. No.
An upcoming artist
Madison Beer or something.
Like a B Miller.
B Miller's edgy. I don't know. Yeah. But saying "damn" on the album was
it was a big deal back then. It's crazy.
I also remember this other controversial moment. I think it's on "Too Much to Ask." Where she says, "You chose weed over me. You're so lame."
Oh man, drama.
And hearing weed, that was one of my first introductions to it because I was just taking the Dare program classes. And I was weed is bad. And I just remember her saying that. I was yeah, she's straight edge, just like me.
I can't.
Remember straight edge?
I was the opposite of straight edge because I was an emo kid.
Even at 12?
Yeah, girl.
Oh my god. You're so hard.
I know.
But I just remember her the word lame. You're so lame.
That accent.
But the word lame is lame.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
You're so lame. Ew.
But that is just so PG. The way that she just, just by the way, kids, don't choose weed because you'll be lame. Just something I thought about.
I love it. But what would you say were your favorite songs?
Okay.
Break it down.
I always skipped Naked at the end, track 13. I think it was,
I was re-listening to the album and I was this is not, compared to the opening of Losing Grip, it's not a great closer.
Yeah. But also at the time when I was 12, like I didn't really understand like what being naked was, and that was like being intimate, you know, and like or just like vulnerable, and like I'm just like I just don't want to be naked. I don't get it. Like what? Anyways, track 11, Nobody's Fool. I would put on the most. I think that would be my favorite one. I would put it on my CD player.
It's like rapping on that song.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I to this day I know all the lyrics to it, I think.
Love it.
I was like rapping it on the way here. It's like, you think you know me like yourself, but I fear that you're only telling me what I want to hear. Do you give a damn? Oh, she does say damn in that song.
She does. She was just so edgy.
Yeah, but that's as far as she went. Oh. Yeah. So I think that one was my favorite. There's just so many good lyrics that just stick out. Like, Things I'll Never Say. I actually, like, printed out the sheet music, too, and, like, would play on the piano and just, like, sing it out because I thought it was, like, the best love song for a shy girl.
Can I just say, I wrote in my notes, I was like, this kind of sounds country. And I was like, I wrote, this was Taylor Swift before Taylor Swift even knew who Taylor Swift was.
You're right.
Right? It had that, like...
You just gave me chills when you said that.
that twanginess to it.
The twanginess?
Like, yeah.
Because I think she actually did grow up listening to country music.
Yeah, because I could hear it, like, sometimes when she sings. Like, she has that, like, that country sound sometimes. Kind of like a Shania Twain. Not Shania Twain. Sheryl Crow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think also the lyrics, especially in that song, is very Taylor Swift because she is basically pining over a guy from afar.
Yeah, and I was like, wait, this sounds like Taylor, like her first, like, 2 albums.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
And she was, this whole album is kind of like that. She's never very, like, upfront and being like, except for maybe Skater Boy, where she's like, he's mine, not yours.
But she was always, like, in the corner, like, gazing.
Yes.
Upon a guy, but never, like, confronting him.
Yes, and that was Taylor Swift's first 5 albums.
Look at that.
Which is all
making connections here.
Yeah. Oh, that's really a good observation.
Yeah. And I noticed that My World, that kind of reminded me of, like, Paramore, because I don't want to say she sounds like Hayley Williams because Hayley came after, but it was just like that very and it was just like that very, like, I don't know, because they're both amazing singers, so they both have that, like, good, like, I don't know how to say it in musical terms, but like, not vibrato, but they could like carry a note very well. Yeah, so that reminded me of Hayley. And then I also love Unwanted, because I like her like more like grungy songs. Yeah, like I love that song because the production is very like 90s like Seattle grunge, but her voice is very like Mandy Moore pop. So like it was like a cool like just juxtaposition.
That's why this album worked so much, because it was kind of grungy. Yeah. But then so accessible. Like, exactly. All of these songs, there's a reason why we still remember them to this day. And it's not just because we listen to it today, but it's like you remember the lyrics and you remember the feelings you had while listening to them. Exactly. So good.
So good.
Oh, Mobile. I remember
Mobile's a good song too.
That's another good one that shows off her voice. Because she's like, everything's... I don't even want to try, but I remember this is when my family, like, just got a computer. And, you know, like, I don't know if you remember, like, early computer using where you didn't really know, like, what to look up. Yeah. Or you just knew that you wanted to be online. But there wasn't, like...
So it was cool.
There was no social network, really, like... Yeah, MySpace was not even there yet.
Yeah, I only had AIM back then.
Yeah, it was just AIM. So, like, you didn't really know what to look up online. So I would just, like, Google my favorite singers. Yeah. And so I would just, like, Google Avril Lavigne. And I saw that she had done an AOL session.
Oh, my. I love those AOL sessions. Yes. Yeah. I remember... I mean, I always bring up Rihanna, but I watched Rihanna on AOL sessions. I watched, like, Sierra. Christina had one. Christina Aguilera. Good Charlotte had one, like My Chemical Romance. Like, those were like, that was like the online version of like TRL, kind of like with the performances and stuff. Yeah. And
we would actually like go online and watch them and like anticipate them and that went away. Like
bringing me back. I loved AOL sessions.
Yeah, because they were stripped back too. So I remember her was just like her and her guitarist Evan. Yeah. And she sang Mobile. or mobile, however you want to say it. She says it mobile in the song.
Yeah.
And I just remember being so blown away because I was a little skeptical, just because most people are skeptical of top 40 music, thinking that people don't actually have talent, even though they actually do. I have to tell people this all the time.
Hello.
But I had that skepticism, and I watched it, and I was just like, yeah, she actually can sing. My fave can sing. So haters back off. That's definitely a moment for me, for sure.
Love that.
But that type of live streaming like went away for a while, and it's back very recently. Like Billboard is doing a lot of like live streaming.
Yeah, which is cool.
Performances.
Yeah, it's very nostalgic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think what I love the most about, I didn't realize this when I was younger, but I love that she was kind of like the pioneer for like women in pop punk. Like in my memory, she was like the first female face, and then after that it came the Hayley Williams, and even like Evanescence. Evanescence came out in 2003, so just like all these like pop women, like even Taylor Momsen. Like I just feel like she kind of like paved the way for like all these women to be like, you know, hey, I'm here. Even Paris, the band Paris, like very like pop punky. So I was like, oh, like I didn't realize like she kind of like carrying the torch of like pop punkness for like women to be like, you know, you could just do it as well as the boys, and even better sometimes.
Yeah, so. I think part of that was probably a label decision, because women have already like had always been in like the punk world, but it was more underground.
Exactly, but this was just like in your face, Billboard Top 40, TRL, like.
And I think once record labels saw how popular she was, they were like, okay, let's like sign on, which is really unfortunate.
Like throw them a guitar, do this.
They're like, yes, we believe in you. Oh, great, you believe in women now? Okay, cool. Like they've been around forever,
right?
But yeah, you're right. She's like one of the first ones. And so young, and just paved the way for everybody. Good job, Avril.
Good job.
Good job, B.
Isn't that? Wait, that's a reference.
Beyonce.
Yes, I was like, wait, I've heard of this before. Yeah. And do you think like in the realm of all of her albums, like where would you rank this?
Number 1.
Really?
Yeah. Number 1, just because personally, it was just like the strongest impact of my,
I think
10 years.
With me, it's between Under My Skin and Let Go. Like sometimes I'm feeling Under My Skin, sometimes I'm more Let Go.
Yeah.
But I think overall Under My Skin, and then Let Go, and then the albums after it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's interesting because I'm sure, I don't know, the albums just came at a certain point in our lives.
Yeah.
And
it was like more of a connection.
Yeah. So, of course, we're going to feel it more because they just have more of a, I don't know, chunk of our adolescence. Our being. Yeah, like you said. So, yeah, definitely that one first. Under My Skin second because, she just kept carrying that emo stick on.
The emo stick.
Okay, just ignore that. Like, move on.
I like picturing her like walking with like
a baton of emo-ness,
like a pitch black like patent leather baton, just like carrying it around like, hey.
And there's like studs on it.
Yeah. I can't.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Who has it now? Paris. Lindner has it. You're right. When he said that, I was like, she's like,
she carried on the torch. The spike torch.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, congrats, Avril, for 15 years of your debut album.
Yeah, just crazy. Congratulations, really. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart. Like, oh my gosh. I just would remember, like, blaring this.
Yeah.
I broke my parents' stereo because I just blared it so loud throughout the house. Every Friday, I would come home from school. I remember my dad, he was like, he worked in construction, so like he would go to people's houses and like work in the houses, and he was like, I went to this job today, and as soon as these little girls came home from school, they turned on the radio and started blaring Let Go, like the Avril Lavigne album. And he was like, it reminded me of you guys so much. And I was like,
that's so cute.
Yeah, but like every girl across the world was doing that. Coming home from school and just coming on and just like putting the CD in and just hearing the first notes like, dun, 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 dun. You know?
I think... I'm trying to think, what was I listening to in 2002? It was more, well, I don't want to give it away because it's my song of the week, so I can't give that one away. But I was more listening to the Strips.
You were advanced.
I was listening to Stripped. I was listening to Britney's third album, the Eminem Show, which I just talked about last week.
Yeah,
I think like at that time I was leaning more towards, like, I had my emo phase. And then I kind of like grew out of it. Like I was going to more. I have like a weird like musical journey.
I know you do.
It's like a tidal wave, but it was more emo. And then I was like, oh, like I'm learning about rap music. And then I found Eminem and then 50 Cent and then Kanye came. It was just like a gradual thing. Then I went back to pop and then
Well, also not to like completely get off topic, but I really do think like I discovered hip hop or like rap music. Shortly after this, like, because I think, like you said, that's when 50 Cent was like 2003.
And it was like during that time, I was like, oh, I like this music too.
And then it kind of, and like you said, Kanye like rose up and everything. So it's just like, isn't it so weird retrospectively just looking back and seeing the waves of everything and like how the different genres of music have just like gone up and down in the past and like where we are now and how history will repeat itself.
I know, because it started with the new millennium. Like, that's where my musical journey started, I guess. Like, with all the pop kids. Like, that's why I love NSYNC so much, because that's what I grew up with. And I was, like, super pop. And then, like, I found, like, I don't want to say, okay, I found, like, My Chemical Romance. That's not my song of the week. But I found My Chemical Romance and then, like, all these, like, emo bands. And then it's just, like, a gradual progression. But I feel like my music taste changed with the charts, and if that makes sense. Like, it changed with the wave that was happening in music.
Well, so because they were targeting us.
Yeah. They knew what the kids, listen to the kids, bro. Like Kanye would say.
We were their demographic.
Yeah, so shout out to
youth,
the record labels for influencing my life.
Shout out to advertising, consumerism, and commercialism. Yeah.
Man, I can't just enjoy it like authentically. Man.
But that's late. That was later in life. That was like when I was like 16. That's when I was like actually starting to discover things for myself. But it took a while, especially if you didn't have. I remember you telling me, you were like, I discovered the Strokes from going to a record store. Yeah. I remember you told me that. But like
that's how I discovered Nirvana too, because I didn't know like I wasn't watching like VH1 or like MTV. Like I went to like a record store. They had like a book. They had Kurt Cobain's journals. And I was like, oh, like this looks like interesting. Like I knew who Nirvana was, but I didn't know like what their story was. So I just like picked it up, just like not even thinking that it would change my life. And then it happened. And
but then, it's your own research and your own discovery.
And I feel like that doesn't really happen now, because like even I mean, because we both work in music, so like we just get things thrown at to us, and I feel like I don't really discover things like I used to back in the day.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because I feel like I don't have time anymore.
Oh my God. It's just like exhausting.
It sounds so terrible. Like, but when you're a teen, you're just sitting in your room, and then the internet got big, and you can just Google anything you wanted and inform yourself and research. And or if you're like just go to a record store and pick out random CDs. And but people don't do that anymore.
No, I wish. Are they even record stores anymore? I feel like they're all closed down.
Yeah, I just went to Amoeba in LA, and it was like the
biggest. That's still open?
Wow, the shade.
Oh. No, I wasn't being shady, I promise. I didn't know it was open. I thought
it was cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it was huge. It was like millions and millions of records. Wow, and movies.
That's like a dream.
Yeah, oh my gosh, you would love it there.
I know.
I still need to spend hours there.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like kind of like Rough Trade here, except like realer.
Yeah.
Here we
That's
go again.
Shade. That's shade. Okay, people, we are back with my personal favorite segment, the Song of the Week. And I kind of alluded to it in the beginning of this episode, but I'm actually going to do you want me to go first?
No, you go first, yeah.
Okay. So just like going with the whole like pop punk theme. And I know this is probably like hella basic, but I'm picking Good Charlotte's Girls and Boys.
Yeah.
Good Charlotte
same era.
Was one of my same era, one of my favorite bands still to this day. Shout out to them because they follow me on Twitter. Shout out to Good Charlotte. And I'm always like promoting myself, but I think that song, because it reminded me when we're talking about Skater Boy, I was like, oh, they had a song similar to that with just like the dynamics of gender roles like back in the day. Their like interpretation of it.
Yeah.
So I'm picking that song. That came out in 2003. So like a year after Let Go came out.
Oh my God, was that song anti-girl too? Girls like cars and money.
Like girls, boys like cars and money. Girls will laugh at
jokes when they're not funny.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, the girls with the bodies like the boys with Ferraris, if I'm saying that
Definitely
right.
Gender roles.
Yeah. Well, guys, hashtag Besterday. Let me know if you were like about that Good Charlotte life, because I was obsessed. I love their first album, The Young and the Hopeless.
Yeah.
And I love The Chronicles of Life and Death. When I got that album, like that took it to a whole nother level. Like I think I still have that copy in my room.
Have we talked about this before? Like where they had the collector's edition.
I had the collector's edition.
Yeah.
It was like that limited edition that it had like a different like cover.
Yeah, there's like the red cover and the black
It had
cover.
like I'm going to look it up now because I don't want to get it wrong. But
and there was the seal on it.
It
was so epic.
Oh, it was a life version and a death version. I had the death version, Avi, because I was like hella emo.
Yeah.
So I got that one and had the bonus tracks on it. And like, oh my God, it's like bringing me back. I listen to that album like
good.
every day.
That's
so good.
I just remember listening to that for the first time, just being like, this is the rawest, realest thing I've ever heard.
They were just talking about like, death and like just rebirth and like just going through the motions. And I just felt it in my spirit because I was like, I'm living this life and you're like talking about my life. And it was just, so I just connected to that album.
So
I'm just like,
emo.
I'm like smiling because like that's one of the albums that kind of like was like turning point in my life, kind of like made me want to do what I do now. So
there you go. Owe it all to those guys.
I owe it all to Good Charlotte.
I need to listen to that
and
album
Britney
later.
Spears.
That's a good song of the week. My song is This Love by Maroon 5.
What? That's so random.
Because I was just thinking about this.
Yeah. That's from Songs of Jane, right?
Yeah. Songs about
Jane. Yeah.
But that was like their first album and it was huge. But did you ever think that Maroon 5 would be where they are now when you first heard that album?
I thought it was going to be, they're going to be one of those guys that you hear like when you're at like Starbucks and they're like playing in the background, like those type of like coffee shop bands.
Yeah. They have
they're
longevity.
Huge. They had been together. Was it around this time? Was it like 2004 era?
I want to say 2005 is when Songs About Jane came out.
Songs About Jane?
Yes, look this up.
2002.
What? Okay, so I hit it on the nail. No wonder I was thinking about it.
Why did I think it was like 2004
I don't know.
But here we are.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wait, when is their album? Oh my God, we need to do an episode about this. Oh my God,
it's next month. It's June 25th.
Okay, I'll be back,
guys. Whoa, this just like changed the whole game. Holy shit.
So yeah, like I heard This Love by Maroon 5.
Yeah.
Walking by my grocery store yesterday, and I was just thinking to myself, like, oh my God, Adam Levine.
Yeah.
Adam Levine, they went on to do so many more albums. They morphed.
I love how you're like interpreting this.
they morphed into this
being
indie rock band.
Yeah.
Because I had their first album when they were Kara's Flowers, because that's how much of a fan I was.
Wow.
To this pop band, and now they're mega pop, and now they're doing songs with Future.
Yeah.
But like
now they're on The Voice. Well, Adam's on The Voice.
Yeah. Well, I think honestly, I don't know what their label deal is, but I think it might have been like a Haley Williams situation where like they signed Adam.
Oh, got it.
But he was huge. He duetted with Alicia Keys for her live album.
Yeah, he duetted with Rihanna.
With Rihanna.
Never See Your Face Again.
Yes.
Not loud. What am I talking about? Good Girl Gone Bad.
Do you remember this?
Yeah.
He was on that Kanye song, and I heard him say.
Yeah, which is actually, that's one of my ringtones to wake up to. Fun fact about me.
Yes, you were living this era.
Yes, it is my life. But yeah, he had like all his solo moments, and it's just like people thought that Maroon 5 was just Adam Levine at one point. It's just like, where are these other guys?
Yeah. But it still kind of is. Like, I know some of the guys. Like, I know Jesse Carmichael because I was like a fan, and they were like my first concert with John Mayer. But I think to this day, those guys are just like, we're going to ride this wave as long as we can. And Adam could be the front man. He could go dye his hair platinum blonde and be on The Voice and be friends with
but I
Blake
feel like
Shelton.
All of them, be friends with Blake Shelton. All of them have done their own thing. Like, I know PJ Morton is like, does solo work.
Oh, good for them.
I feel like they all kind of
money.
do what they want. And when they feel like it, they come together for another album. So.
Yeah. And they definitely just followed the trends and they've been on the radio. They've never like flopped or anything.
That's crazy how much their sound has changed now that I'm thinking about it, from like songs about Jane up to moves like Jagger. It's crazy.
It's just crazy. I just think it's so crazy that like Future is on a song with them right now.
Yeah, like how did this happen?
Or they got into like kind of like the tropical pop with that song.
Yeah. With
like,
Kendrick Lamar.
No. Was he on that
Kendrick
song?
Lamar's on that song. You see, times are changing.
Weird, like more like a chameleon. They're like a chameleon band.
But like they never sold out. I guess like people still stuck onto them for all these years.
Yeah, I mean, define sold out.
Well, there are many definitions we could go into.
I'm interested in seeing like. I mean, I just feel like they've had this longevity. Like, I think they're going to be around forever.
I think so, too. Well, now that you remind me, Songs About Jane is turning 15 next month.
Yeah.
I put this in my calendar.
Yes,
I'm excited because that had a lot of great songs.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, my God. I'm so excited now. All right. We have a plan. Well, that is a wrap for this week.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being on it again. Like, it was so, I mean, I'm sure the listeners are happy too. Like, just hearing your voice again.
Okay.
After all these months of me talking and blabbing. Yeah.
It was nice to like get deep about an album that was so important to me, but also an album that when you're little, you don't really have these deep thoughts about.
And then when you get older, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
That album changed my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be with me next week. Hint, hint. Hint.
Oh my gosh. Can you give enough Rihanna hints? Sorry, I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'm just a listener here.
I mean, if you haven't been paying attention to my Twitter account, Good Girl Gone Bad turns 10 on Monday.
This is going to be good.
This might be my biggest episode today. I'm like, I don't know how to prepare for this. Like,
Rihanna
it's just going to
will be here.
Honestly, it's going to be a wild one. So I'm excited for that. I mean, I've had like a lot of like personal episodes before. Like the Eminem show was pretty personal. The Ashley Simpson one, I got deep on that one because like that was my girl. So yeah, I've gotten pretty deep on this podcast, which creating it when we did, like I never thought like it'll be as personal as it's become, but we are here. But music, that's what music is. So.
But you realize this years later, and you realize the impact that it's had on your life.
Yeah.
And you think about personal memories, and you're just like, oh my God, like the feelings come back.
Right?
And it's so weird how music can do that.
I know, but I love it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you guys love it too, listening to me every week. But as I always say, make sure to hashtag Besterday on Twitter and Instagram, and rate us on iTunes. That is very important. If you're not following me on Twitter, I don't know what you're doing because I'm so funny.
What are you doing?
What are you doing with your life?
She's the best. She always puts different gifts on everything. You can count on her for at least 12 gifts a day.
Thanks.
It warms my heart.
That's like one of my specialties.
And when she's not tweeting gifts, she's texting me gifts.
Yes.
Makes me feel
I'm
so
about
good.
that gift life.
Yes.
But yeah, follow me on Twitter at Bianca and Rogue, and let the people know your Twitter handle again.
Yeah, Emilee Lindner, EMILEELINDNER.
There you go. Don't forget the extra N after the D. That's very important.
Yes. And extremely frustrating when people get it wrong.
All right, guys, that is a wrap. I need to get some water. I'm talking too much.
Yes.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.